Hi and welcome to the Digital Digging YouTube channel. In this video we're taking a look at the Panzer Kampfwagen 38T Ausf A and Ausf F, both in history and in the game of War Thunder. The Panzer 38T started life as a Czech tank designed and constructed during the pre-war period and coming into German army service after Czechoslovakia was subsumed by Germany in 1939. Around 1,400 Panzer 38Ts were constructed for the German army, which used them extensively in France, Poland and Russia. The T in the name incidentally stands for Czechish, the German word for Czech, to mark out its country of origin, something they were rather keen on in those days. The riveted plates of armour betray this vehicle's pre-war origins. Minimally sloped and between 8 and 30 mm thick on most versions, this didn't fare well in the field, and later models from the E onwards had their frontal armour doubled and their side armour boosted by the simple expedient of bolting on another plate. Other adjustments were made according to German specifications. A loader position was added to the turret to take some of the pressure off the commander, but reducing the ammunition capacity for the 37mm KWK 38 gun by 18 rounds. The 38T was also fitted with a 7.92mm machine gun to the right of the main gun, and also carried another 7.92mm machine gun mounted on the bow under the control of the radio operator, but this could also be controlled by the driver by way of a trigger fitted to the tiller bar. The days of using the T-38T as anything other than an infantry support vehicle were numbered almost before the war started. When hit by even a moderately sized field weapon, the spalling was such that it was more of a danger to the crew than a form of protection. The German tank commander, Otto Carius, experienced this firsthand and described it as follows. "It happened like greased lightning, a hit against our tank, a metallic crack, the scream of a comrade, and that was all there was. A large piece of armour plating had been penetrated next to the radio operator's seat. No one had to tell us to get out. Not until I had run my hand across my face while crawling in the ditch next to the road did I discover that they had also got me. Our radio operator had lost his left arm. We cursed the brittle and inelastic Czech steel that gave the Russian 47mm anti-tank gun so little trouble. The pieces of our own armour plating and assembly bolts caused considerably more damage than the shrapnel of the round itself. In its favour, however, the drive components of the 38T were particularly well arranged and reliable, something that couldn't be said for a lot of tanks at that period, and easy to maintain and repair in the field. And as the use of the 38T petered out in favour of heavier tanks, the chassis was used again for the Marder III and also for its replacement, the Jagdpanzer 38T, more commonly known as the Hetzer. We have two 38Ts in the game, the 38T Ausf A and the 38T Ausf F. Superficially, these can be differentiated from each other externally by what looks like an elongated exhaust pipe on the Ausf A, but is in fact the vehicle's aerial. The Panzer 38T Ausf A is a Tier 1 tank with a battle rating of 1.3. It has a maximum top speed of 26 miles per hour or 41 kilometers per hour, which it can reach on even terrain in around 7 seconds. It has a turret rotation speed of 16.5 degrees per second and is armed with a 37mm KWK 38T cannon with 90 rounds of ammunition and a reload rate of 3.3 seconds. Currently, the two machine guns are present but not functional, something I assume will change in a future patch. The hull is 15mm thick at the sides and rear, with 10mm on top. At the front, the lower glacis is 8mm thick, with the upper glacis coming in at 12mm, and the plate above that coming in at 25mm. The turret is 15mm at the sides and rear, with 25mm of armour at the front. The Panzer 38T Ausf F is also a Tier 1 vehicle, but with a battle rating of 2.0. Again, it has a maximum speed of 26 miles per hour or 41 kilometers per hour, which is also reached in around 7 seconds on even terrain. It has the same main gun and same reload speed at 3.3 seconds and the same penetration with stock rounds. This stands at 57mm at 100 meters, 46mm at 500 meters, and 36mm at 1000 meters. The armour is 30mm at the sides and rear with 15mm on top. At the front, the lower glacis is still only 8mm thick, but the upper glacis is now 30mm with the plate that separates them coming in at 50mm with an additional 15mm provided by a spare section of track. The plate that protects the driver and bow gunner is 50mm thick, and the turret is 30mm at the sides and rear with 50mm at the front. I have to admit that before doing this video I hadn't driven these tanks very much at all, but they are definitely becoming low tier favourites. The Ausf A is nippy and the gun is very reasonable, but the thin armour means that almost anything is capable of ending your run in the match. The 38T Ausf F, however, is a different story. The addition of extra armour has transformed this little tank into a formidable fighter at this tier. It's as manoeuvrable as its little brother, can dish out the punishment, but also can receive it to a surprising degree. If you haven't taken these tanks for a spin yet, I urge you to do so now. They take very little time to unlock, and if it's been a while since you played a low tier match, this is a perfect opportunity to rediscover just how much fun you can have. Okay, that's it for another video. Like it if you do, don't if you don't. I had a couple of complaints about the length of these outros, with one person admitting that they disliked the video based on this bit alone. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not as if I'm talking over the actual video itself. There is, in fact, no imperative to watch this bit at all. I mean, if I had credits at the end of my videos, then I'd be talking over those instead. I can see how that could be annoying, as I have difficulty reading and listening to someone talking at the same time. However, all I'm talking over is this image of a subscribe button, so I don't really get it. To clarify the situation once more, if you liked the part of the video dedicated to the Panzer 38T, then please feel free to leave a like. If you disliked it, then please feel free to either give it a dislike or preferably do nothing at all. If you liked this bit right at the end, completely after the main content and therefore not really disturbing anyone at all, then also feel free to leave a like. If you disliked this bit right at the end, completely after the main content and not really disturbing anyone at all, then you really should have stopped watching well before this point. As I said before, I think we all know how these videos work by now. I do the main content and then we have these little talks when it's all over. If they bug you, well, the solution seems obvious. However, if the anticipation of these bits is ruining the whole video for you, then what can I say? Life can be hard. However, I don't think this particular bit of it is, so perhaps the problem is in fact you. You're doing it to yourself. You know who you are. We could end this right now. In fact, I'm going to. Cheerio, chaps, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.